Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new review for Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 2. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Michaela and Zac, it is wedding day. Today it's Michaela and Zac's turn. Her sisters go in to wake up Sleeping Beauty, and she's pretending to be asleep with the whole camera crew in her room. And I'm like, girl, we know you're not asleep, honey. It's like when you were little and your parents would come into your room and say, are you asleep? And then you would yell out, yes. Well, honey, how you asleep if you're yelling yes, child? And Michaela was giving me very much I got caught awake realness, okay? She said that the day is very important and she wishes her dad was there. She wants her mate, being Zac, to possess qualities like her dad had. She wants him to be kind, open, honest, all of these strong qualities that her dad possessed. Well, honey, I hope he can measure up. Moving forward, Zac said today is the day that his dreams come true. Child, please let this work out. That's all I can think. Like when they tell me how they want things to go and what they anticipate the day being, I just always hope that they get exactly what they're longing for, okay? So he said that his parents have been married for 28 years, his brother is engaged, and the other brother has a very long-term relationship. So then Pastor Cal said, Zac's family is what he idolizes, and he's mimicking them because he's always seen marriage. They crave marriage. This is my thing. I feel Zac is just trying to keep up with the Joneses. He is trying to beat those brothers to the altar. He does not want to be left behind. That's what I feel, okay? And I feel like in this case, the Joneses would be his immediate family. And he also said, this is Pastor Cal speaking, this will be the first time that he says, I love you. Child, y'all said the same thing about Ryan, and look how that turned out, child. Moving forward, back over with Michaela and the sisters. They're getting her all the way together, okay? They said they gave her a nickname, and that's Hurricane K. All right, now, Michaela, don't start none, won't be none. Please don't start that. So Michaela was like, anybody can get it. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the CEO. You can be the janitor. You're going to get this business. And then after all is said and done, I'm going to calm myself back down. Michaela, we can't do that. Okay? We cannot do that in a marriage. You're going to have to get yourself together. Gather your curls and get your mind right. Okay? She said, if my husband is who he needs to be, then he can manage it. Child, listen to me, y'all. I'm a little bit nervous about how this gonna work out because Michaela seems like she may be a little bit spoiled. So I'm just hoping that she's able to bend. We see Zac as a crier already, honey, so you can't come in like a Tasmanian devil. You're gonna have to be a little bit more subdued for Zac. Zac starts getting extremely emotional over there on the bus with his brothers, and he's like, you know what, meeting my wife, that's the only thing that I care about right now and nothing else. I was like, oh, child. Well, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Back over here with Michaela, they give her something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. So they pull out something blue, and it's her father's pen because he was a Trekkie. And he used to build these Star Trek themed things, and they gave her a pen from one of his model sets. Oh my gosh, that really touched me because she started crying. I just love seeing all those sisters together. She started crying. Honey, may the force be with you. And child, why y'all making her cry? Gonna ruin her beautiful makeup. Oh, child. So in the end, she looked at it and she said, you know what? She gets to explore the beyond. And I loved it. Child, that sent chills down my spine. Over on the other side, Zac said he's ready to fall in love and for the first time. His mom said, just go into it with your whole heart. And then his mama said to him, your mommy's sweet angel. That's what you are, your mommy's sweet angel, as he cried into her arms, child. And I said, oh, honey, I called my baby that. So Zac just crying and crying and crying, honey. Zac crying so much I can't even think straight. Zac, you and those little wet eyes, honey, you're going to need windshield wipers to get down the aisle. Child crying a bucket of tears. Zac comes out to his or her family because now it's time for the wedding, y'all. Woo, it's time for the wedding. He was a gentleman. He spoke to her mom and whatnot. Michaela is ready to come out. And he said worst case scenario is that they're matched and they're not compatible at all. Well, honey, y'all ain't gonna have to worry about that. She said, ready or not, here she comes. He said, no matter what, we'll have love and that's all that matters. How you know y'all gonna have love and you never been in love? Zac, child, you just be saying any old thing, child. So the doors opened. She came down the aisle and she looked beautiful. And let me tell y'all something. Baby, when he saw Michaela coming down that aisle, his whole entire face opened up. Okay? His whole face. Let me tell you something. If in fact I ever do get somebody to trick me into another marriage, if his face don't open up like Zac's did when he saw Michaela, honey, I don't want it. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. So here comes the bride, and she's like, "Hey, husband." I'm like, that'll be me, child, all day long coming down the aisle, skinning and grinning and waving. She's like, "Nice to meet you." He's like, "You're gorgeous." She's like, "Oh, you're so handsome." And I'm like, "Oh, baby, they are smitten with each other." Child, I just loved it. Baby, that energy was coming out through that screen. I was a little bit skeptical, and I know a lot of people were saying in my comments last week, "I don't think Zac is mature enough." Well, we don't know if he is or not, because this is just the wedding. And I mean, I felt very strongly that Brianna and Vincent were that couple. But for me, in the end, they were not. So you never know. But honey, they're giving the judge that needs to be given all up and through this wedding, okay? He's like, so meet Zac. And she's like, "Your name is Zac? Zachary or Zac? Do you want a Zac Jr.? Girl, get through the ceremony first." Child, I thought she was going to ask him for a social security number. I'm like, Michaela, girl, reel it in. So they said, "Zac, her friends and family want you to know that she's a wonderful daughter. She's a dog mom to Nova, but don't push her because she's close to the edge." Honey, they didn't say it exactly like that, but I paraphrased it because y'all know I like to do what? Zhuzh it up. So then they said to her, "Zac will do anything to make you happy. He's been talking about marriage his whole life. So we're happy that he has you so that he can stop." Honey, he's 27. What were you doing all those years that made you talk about marriage all day and all night? You ain't even got a chance to live yet, child. They said he's loyal, passionate, and adventurous. So now it's time for the vows, okay? He said, "You know what? I can already tell that you're courageous. You believe in love, and it tells me that you're just like me. I vow to be forgiving, committed, and to always put you first." She's like, "Oh, okay, well, honey, let's go make some babies now, child. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it." I know that's right, Michaela, honey. Grab your man and take him to the back. You hear me? Go ahead and consummate the marriage on commercial break. So her vows said that she knows it won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. And today, tomorrow, and forever, he will never have to worry. Baby, they said, "I now pronounce you husband and wife. Zac, you may kiss the bride." Baby, Zac leaned into that kiss. Baby, his mama was looking, her mama was looking, the sisters were very impressed, and then he go his dad. Now, he was doing all that talking, okay, when Zac told him that he was going to get married at first sight. I look over there and he crying. I'm like, "It's beautiful, ain't it, daddy?" It's giving the judge that needs to be gave. I know that's right. They make a beautiful couple. I just really hope that they will know how to compromise with each other. She will be patient with him. He will be patient with her. And they can make it work, because this couple right here, I really do see a bright future for them. Now, honey, y'all don't prove me wrong, because I'm going to have to get on this review and I'm going to have to say exactly what I see. But for right now, I love it. Michaela said, "You know, when he walks in, I'm like, yes, that's my man." I'm like, "I know that's right. Yes, sis." He said, "So tell me about yourself," because now they're in the back. "How old are you?" She said, "I would guess that you're 32. He said, "No, I'm younger." She said, "Younger? 27. He said, "Yep." She was like, "Oh, okay, so you got yourself a cougar." Girl, you're 3 years older than he is. Honey, y'all went to high school together. Girl, goodbye. He said, "Well, that's okay. I like older." You're 3 years older than he is. Y'all could have went to high school together. Yes, I did. Just repeat that. Boy, bye. So then after that, she said, "Well, they said you were a Renaissance man." He said, "Yeah, you know, my dad taught us to crochet and make our own lotion." Okay. She was like, "Oh, okay." Child, let me tell y'all something. The way I hollered when he said he made his own lotion, "Zac, you better go and set yourself off, honey. Now that you've been on Married at First Sight, you're going to get a little zhuzh, a little bit of push behind you. Child, bottle that lotion, call it MAFs, ask for their permission first, and then go on, put it on the shelves, child, because I definitely will give me some MAFs lotion." Child, Michaela was looking like, "You gonna churn your own butter a little later too?" Honey, leave him alone, Michaela, honey. He's a man of many talents. Plays the piano, he crochets, and he makes lotion. He said, "You know, I just like to do a bunch of random things." Yes, you do, okay? But ain't nothing wrong with a little quilt action. I'm just saying. She said, "You know, so far she likes him, and she's getting good vibes." Okay. And she's like, "Hopefully it's not purely physical." Or did I say hopefully it's not purely physical? I think I said that. We gonna go with me. Now it's time for Johnny and Bow. In keeping with tradition, Bow and Johnny planned a traditional tea ceremony. He said, he had no idea who he was marrying. He had no idea he was going to be marrying someone that he knew from 15 years ago. Every time I hit it, I just love it. So they actually planned this unbeknownst to them, and they were matching. Ugh, it's meant to be. It's just meant to be, honey. I love seeing their cultural traditions. I love seeing other weddings that are unlike the traditional ones that we normally see. Johnny said the tea ceremony is a joining of two families, and he hopes that this will be the first step in their families getting to know each other. And I was just looking at Bow, and I said, you know what? Bow seems a lot more at ease and upbeat at the ceremony, honey. She not worried about that jersey now. You ain't worried about it now, honey. Seeing Johnny looking how he looking. I know that's right. They look awesome at this tea ceremony. I just want to say that. She said, you know what? I'm just so happy. He was the president of the Vietnamese Student Association at UT, me at U of H, and I feel like it was meant to be. Bow, I am in agreement with you, or as Brett would say, facts. Okay? She said, it's the start to the biggest and best love story ever. Baby, you better put some zhuzh on your ceremony and your vows and whatnot. I know that's right, Bow. Now, Bow, don't act up, okay? Because we need some of you to make it to the finish line, okay? So Johnny is still worried about his dad's approval. Johnny, listen to me, honey. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Enjoy your day. Life is too short. She's not a serial killer. She's not dangerous. You know her from back then, okay? So daddy gonna have to get over it, okay? You're a grown man. You make your own decisions. He'll be fine. Back over with Mickey and Zac. Honey, I done gave her a nickname, okay? She's no longer Michaela. She's Mickey. Over with Mickey and Zac. It's time for the wedding photos. Lord, let this hair not puff up. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, child, us naturalistas, child. One good humidified day and that hair is a bust. So I'm hoping they're in an air-conditioned space and that her hair will not turn into Puff the Magic Dragon. So his brother was over there like, she got a husky, dog. Did you hear she had a husky? He was like, yeah, how you know? He was like, because I asked her. Here come his daddy. So what you think? What you think about her? He was like, I'm happy. I know, y'all. I know that's right. I know that's right, baby. You are happy about your wife. I know that's right. You better celebrate, Michaela. So she over there talking to her sister, and her sister was like, I think he was made for you. And she's like, I think so too. And she was like, just look at his family. They're so well put together. His parents are beautiful. They're so pleased that his parents actually support them. She said, I'm very excited. I'm curious and I'm nervous. Listen, just focus on each other and be open and you'll be fine. As they're trying to take pictures, right? He said, oh, your hand getting kind of low. She's like, oh, I'm just copping a feel. Child, Michaela ready to get it popping, okay? But don't pull a Ryan, okay? Zac, honey, go on, give the zhuzh it needs to be given on the night it needs to be given up, okay? So then they take one of these pictures and he's like, let's see who laughs first. I'm like, aw, not they playing. I love how they're being playful with each other. So they're trying to take this serious Vogue type picture, but Michaela couldn't last 2 seconds. That probably would have been me too, child. I'm so goofy. I would have just busted out laughing as soon as he said, let's see who doesn't laugh first. Child, I'm like a toddler. So she couldn't even hold it in. She started smiling. He said, look, I kind of want to kiss you. She said, well, come on. I've been waiting on you, man. Listen. They are for sure gonna get it on the honeymoon that night, okay? The first night of them being married, they gonna get it popping. Michaela and those lips, honey, she leaned into him, baby. I almost swallowed his entire face. I said, Michaela, let the boy breathe, child. Time for the reception. They sashay on in, honey, and I got chills because I'm like, look at them. I got chills. They're multiplying. Shout out to Greece. So she said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like our attraction is 9. So she said that she would definitely have a kid with him just by looking at him. I know that's right, child. Let's go half on the baby. So then they do their first dance. He said, I haven't slow danced in a while. She said, I've never slow danced. I didn't even go to my junior high prom. So they're having a little bit of banter and they're talking to each other back and forth, just getting to know each other. And he said, so what was your first impression of me? She said that you were very handsome. And she said, what about you? He said, I was looking like, damn, I'm happy. I'm literally happy. Aww. Happy is a statement all by itself. You don't even have to say anything else. That's like no being a complete sentence. Happy, to me, that's a complete sentence. Some simple words to me mean so much. Like if someone looks at me and says, "You're so pretty." That's better to me than beautiful, than gorgeous. That's better than all of it. The simplicity. Do you know what you got to be pretty? Anybody can be beautiful if you get zhuzhed up, but to be pretty is something totally different, honey. That's just a side note. So then they clinked the wine glasses, and Zac leaned in for another kiss, honey. Oh, child. For never having to attend to the wedding, you're doing great, Zac. Honey, I have hope for these two. The chemistry between these two is crazy. But baby, they might have an erotic combustion, like Dr. Pepper said. She said it, honey. I'm just repeating it. And they've been kissing since they met, honey, but I ain't mad at it. Get into it then. Moving forward, Johnny and his wife, Vows, have their first dance. And she's like, how do I do this? Vows, just dance, honey. Just dance. It'll be okay. Honey, just dance, honey. What do you mean? How do I do this? Johnny is so nervous not to make the wrong move. I hope Vows doesn't dim his light. Because, I really hope that he's not trying to conform to fit exactly what it is that she wants, because I don't think that it'll ever be exactly what she wants. Okay. She says she's attracted to Johnny, though. He looks great in a suit. She said, and I know he's attracted to me because why wouldn't he be? Okay, Bow. So Johnny is asking her about her expectations with marriage and children as they're dancing. And she's like, no more than 2. He said as he's dancing with her, he could feel that she was stiff and not used to his touch yet. So he's being very respectful, putting his hands where her eyes can see them, and not going in for a kiss even though he wants to, because he wants to feel what it's like to make out with his wife. I said, oh, Johnny, the men on here are being so sweet. Well, honey, Zac and Michaela going all the way in. They're about to swallow each other's faces. So, honey, y'all gonna have to catch up. 2 couples have now been married at first sight, and 3 more to go. Mirla and Gil. Gil is going to find something for the wedding. He said, look, I want a traditional suit with a little splash of color. Basically, you saying I want a traditional suit with a little bit of zhuzh. That's what you mean. I'm going to go ahead and say it for you, Gil. That's okay. He said he's waiting to come home to someone warm and someone to be silly with, and to crack jokes. But you have Mirla, and she ain't skinning and grinning, okay? Her personality doesn't give, I'm going to crack jokes with you after you get home from a long day's work. I'm just saying. Po Gil. So Mirla is over there. She's trying on dresses, and they're going in to look, right? And she's like, no sparkle, no rhinestones, no sleeves. You know what? No dress. I'll just wear something I already have. Child, what is wrong with you? Child, she didn't want nothing. She did not like anything. The bridesmaids were like, well, why don't we look at this? Maybe we should think outside the box. She's like, no. Well, what about this one? It's ugly. What about this one? I don't like the ruching. I don't like the way it's meeting in the front. Now, the dress was ugly. Don't get me wrong. Mirla, I'm with you on that. I didn't like it either. But at the same time, girl, you didn't want to try on nothing. It's going to be a long wedding night. Child, this is a mess. Pastor Cal said, even though she's a diva, Gil will balance her out. Child, ain't nobody got time to be working with Mirla after fighting fires. Moving forward. Gil is trying on his suits, and he comes out dressed like Pastor Cal. No, sir. Dressed like a straight parishioner. Baby, please put that back. He was like, I'm just trying this on for the fit. And Gil a little thick with it. I said, I don't know if that's the fireman in him or what's happening, but child, Gil got a little thickness to him. He said, first impressions are everything, so he wants to look good. And are. Over on the other side, Mirla is still trying on dresses and complaining, which is her favorite pastime. Oh, she's so exhausting, Lord. Her friends are like, next. Okay, she don't like that one. Next. It doesn't have the Mirla swag. Honey, what swag is it? Child, they getting on my nerves. Gil is back on his side saying, in a perfect world, as she's coming down the aisle, they would smile at each other lovingly. Well, you're bald, so fingers crossed. He said he wants her to see him and say, yes, that's my man. Good luck. Mirla said she always wanted a family and someone to start traditions with. Well, I hope you are willing to bend, okay? Because you look a little bit stuck in your ways. Her friend said, so what if he thinks your dress is too sexy? She said, well, he's too conservative for me, and he will be upset with my brunch outfits. Girl, if you're talking about those big red boots, if those big red boots are any indication of what you're going to wear, honey, he'll be fine. So then Gil's friends are over there asking him, what is he excited to do with his wife? He said, I'm just excited to have someone to go places with. So he said, trips and family gatherings and different functions. And he said, one of his friends said, so what if she wants to go on like extravagant trips like to Dubai and places like that in Paris? Let me find out you already know Mirla. Because what would make you just ask him that? Okay. So he said, I would be fine with going there. I'm sure you would. All of us will be fine with going there, but who was going to pay for it is the question. Then he said, but there's always ways around making expensive trips cheap. Well, I mean, that's the truth, honey. You got Kayak, Living Social, and Groupon, honey. They're your best friends. But you know what? You should have stocked up on tickets during lockdown, okay? You could have went to Dubai for 99 cents and a Snickers. Child, they were giving away tickets. Child, I know I stacked up on some for me. Moving forward. He said, if she's materialistic, it's an issue because what's important, this bag or me? Definitely the Prada bag, okay? Definitely Birkin, okay? He said, people are raised differently. So, it might be a problem, but they're going to have to sit down and they're going to have to talk about it. Well, I just hope it works. Brett goes to look for her dress because now it's time for Brett and Ryan. Brett goes to look for her dress. And let me tell y'all something. I know that Brett is a different look from what Ryan would normally date, but Brett is stunning to me. If y'all just look at her, that milky skin, her beautiful eyes, her red hair, I think she's very pretty. So she's trying on dresses and finally she sees a dress she likes. I'm like, hello, boobies. Honey, Brett is stacked, okay? Over on the other side, Sleepy Time Ryan is looking for his tux/suit, and he said he hopes his wife is looking forward to kids. He said, he wants to be the t-ball coach and be an active dad, so he needs to get started soon. Well, you definitely need to, honey, because you already look tired. Moving forward, Pastor Cal said, Ryan needs a woman unlike the women he's dated in the past. Translation, Ryan usually dates supermodels, so we're giving him a redhead with a fiery personality. Good luck. Child, them dang on experts play all day. Ryan said, he's had plenty of fun and he's ready to settle down and he's worried about getting his heart broken. Well, I don't foresee Brett doing that, okay? Because Brett has been through a few things herself. So I feel like if the two of you just get in there and work past whatever issues that may come about, I think the two of you will be fine. Brett says she wants to give love and she's a hopeless romantic. She really likes herself and her life, and she hopes getting married will help her love her life. Aw, Brett. She says she hopes they look at each other and breathe a sigh of relief. Brett, let us pray. 5 days until the wedding. Back at that same store, okay? Rachel is there to search for her wedding dress because now it's her turn. Honey, I hope she left that frenemy at home because I would hate for her to come in. What if he thinks your dress is too tight? What about that roll in the back? What if he sees your arms out? Like, child, I don't know if she was there or not, honey. I don't even think I looked. But if you brought that frenemy, please keep her on silent. So she's like, I'm ready. I went to New York alone. I went to the World Series by myself. Girl, what a little frenemy was when you were doing all this by yourself. And a solo trip is always the move. Let me tell y'all something. Don't let life stop because you don't have a travel buddy. Honey, you better get on that plane, get in that car, take that road trip. Life is short. Okay. Once COVID is over and done with, which it probably will never be, there's probably just going to be a new normal. But once the new normal is normal enough for me, honey, I am definitely traveling, buddy or not, spouse or not. Do not let that stop your life. So basically, this is what I'm getting from you, Rachel. You just want to get married because you're tired of doing things alone. Jose, on the other side, says he's looking for the spitting image of himself. Jose, nah, I'm not about to play with you. We do not need two Jose's, please, Lord. Jose comes out in this bedazzled jacket. Honey, no, sir. The family co-signs it. I'm like, okay, y'all enabling, honey. Y'all play too much. Pastor Cal said, Jose is a perfectionist, but Rachel will off-put that perfectionism side. And Rachel has changed herself for guys, but she will be compromising. Once again, he feels like we will be envious of them if they connect on a deeper level. Oh, yeah, I'm envious of them right now, honey. I was green with envy as I was watching him try on that god-awful suit. Moving forward, Rachel comes out in her first dress. She really likes it. And I'm like, okay, you look so pretty, Rachel. Then they put on the veil. She says she's always felt insecure in her other relationships and she felt like she wasn't good enough. Well, Rachel, let me speak directly to you, honey. Okay? I know that you may have felt insecure and not good enough, but I'm here to tell you that you are enough. Okay? If nobody has told you today, you are a very beautiful woman. You have a lot to offer, and you don't need to just settle for any old thing. Okay? And Jose, let me tell you this. Okay? Do not mistreat Rachel. Okay? So she keeps talking about her weight loss, and she hopes that the person will love her for her. Lord, please let Jose behave, or I'm going in on him, and y'all know I ain't playing. Jose on the other side, he decides that flashy jacket is a yes, but it's definitely a no. And this is the thing. He went and got that jacket, but he went in there and said he didn't want anything too flashy, but then he chose that. Child, I'm not about to play with you. Jose said he's worried that she won't be attracted to him or he won't be attracted to her. He hopes it's love at first sight. So his brother said, well, what if it's not? He said it will make holding hands and all that other kind of stuff a little bit more difficult. Jose, just be nice to Rachel, honey. You've been warned. It's wedding day. Time for Mirla and Gil. Mirla says she wants to get married at first sight because she doesn't want to date. Girl, you don't like to do nothing, honey. You don't want to date. You don't want to try on a dress. You don't want makeup. Child, oh my goodness. She's like, I've tried to find a husband to no avail. Honey, it's probably that attitude. She said, best case scenario, everything that she asked for will happen. Worst case is that he's ugly. I don't like to use the word ugly. Okay? You have to really make me upset for me to use the word ugly. But okay, girl. Her friend said, well, you decided to do it no matter what. Remember? She said, yeah, and even if he's ugly. Okay, Chris, don't start, honey. We already had that last season. Gil is like, my family can't be here. They're in Colombia. But the people that are here, they're like my family. And they pray for me, so I feel the positive energy. Mirla is giving the makeup artist a hard time over in the next scene, child, saying, I don't wear makeup. I've never worn that. I don't want it to look like that. I'll take that off if it looks like theirs. I don't want foundation. Oh, my goodness. That's so rude. So basically you're saying that A, they don't know how to do makeup, and B, your bridesmaids look a fool. And that's basically what I got from it. She's like, oh, and my eyebrows, I don't want them like theirs. I don't like their eyebrows. Oh, honey, I could not be her friend. I just couldn't do it, child. It's just too much. She's like, do you have any of that loose powder? Just do a little loose powder a little bit. Child, just tell them to leave your face bare and let you and your lashes and your curls go down the aisle. Girl, whatever. She's like, you know what? I like things a certain way, and if you don't like it, too bad, so sad. Lady, who will put up with that? And while you up here getting your Alicia Keys on with no makeup, you need something under those eyes, child. Meanwhile, Gil's friends are like, are you going to go in for a kiss? He said, of course. She's a stranger, but she's my wife. Well, honey, she's strange, all right. Mirla on the other side, and she's like, I'm not kissing him. A cheek kiss, yes. Like, I don't know him. He's a stranger. I'm like, oh my God. So then she pulled a Keke Palmer. I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. Girl, you're marrying him at first sight. So, at this point, all bets are off. Girl, gotta let him get in, child. Whatever, child. I don't have time for Mirla. She wearing me out. Well, we know who won't be getting touched on wedding night. The wedding is about to start. The groomsmen are giving him some advice. They're like, look, we all want to know, are y'all getting it in on wedding night? A resounding no from us here at home. Okay. He said, I like passionate sex. So the first night, it's not going to be passionate. I feel like that's going to be like a one night stand. Well, Gil, that's not true. Cause I feel like sparks could fly on the first night. Look at Michaela and Zac. Baby, they're going to tear that room up. Okay. They going to tear that room down. As Dr. Pepper would say, it's going to be an erotic combustion happening all up and through the Intercontinental Suites. Do y'all hear me? So despite Mirla's fuss, she's looking good because now they pan back over to her. His groomsmen are giving their advice. But I was looking at his groomsmen and I'm like, why are y'all dressed this way? Honey, why aren't y'all dressed right? Did y'all were there when he was trying on these suits. So I'm a little bit confused, honey. Oh, child. So he walks in because it's time for the wedding. Her mom gave him a death stare. And I'm like, child, I see where she got that little snarl from. Mirla's brother is walking her down the aisle and he's in the back and he's telling her, you look like a princess. His name is Juan. I'm like, you know what? This is just a side note. He is so pleasant. More of the brother, less of Mirla. He's like, you look amazing. She's like, I don't want to date. I'm too picky. He's like, well, Dad will be proud. I love her brother. I love him. So sweet, honey. I just love nice people. She said, she's grateful to have her brother to walk her down the aisle. So then the bridesmaids walk out, right? Child, that first one looked up and saw Gil standing there with that shiny disco ball. And baby, she was looking like, oh, Lord, he's bald. I said, this going to be a fool. It's time for Mirla to make her entrance, child. Gil, brace yourself, honey. You might need to fake a 5-alarm fire to step out, honey. I'm just saying, child, because I don't know how this is going to go. So then Mirla appears and she looks stunning. I just hope she doesn't talk too much. He smiled and she smiled back. And I did love her dress. Out of all the dresses, I think that Mirla's was the nicest dress. After all this fuss, honey, you got the zhuzh that needed to be gave. So when she came out, she's like, you know what? He's bald, but I'm open. Woo! Child, that was a close one. Thank God Gil looked like something. He's like, you look beautiful. She said, thank you. Honey, she ain't return a compliment. I noticed it. You ain't fooling me. So then she gets ready to read to him what the friends have to say about her. She said, her friends say that Mirla is a big fan of physical touch. Not the lady that wants a cheek kiss. Honey, did I miss something? They said, don't be surprised if she greets you at the door with a foot massage. Child, who are y'all describing? I think y'all got Michaela's. Is that Michaela's letter? Child, I'm not about to play with y'all. Whose letter is that? I was so confused. I'm like, are they talking about Mirla? They said she enjoys giving back. Now, I do think we talking about Mirla right here because I remember when we had this little casting special that they did say that Mirla likes to give back to the community. She loves to cook and she will hire someone to clean because she has to go out and she has to shop. Gil said, oh. Yeah, oh, it's right. You better pick up a few extra shifts, honey. They pan over to the serious looks on all of his friends' faces, honey. They were not impressed. They were like, oh, child, seems a little shallow to me. Then she says, Mirla, Gil's friends would like you to know, honey, it's a Ross and TJ Maxx from here on out. So that's what they would like you to know. They said Gil is the life of the party. He'll keep her laughing when they argue. He won't bring flowers, but he'll bring chocolate chip cookies instead. Honey, that sounds like my kind of man, honey, because let me tell you something. The flowers will die, but a chocolate chip cookie from Tiff's, oh, baby, that is everything to me. Then they say, congratulations, you're a dog mom to his beloved pit bull. So then she was like, is he slobbery? Oh, my God. Child, oh, child, she would have never worked with last season because, child, they had dogs all up and through. Do y'all hear me? So then Gil reads his vows. He said, you know, he did promise shoes, honey, so hopefully that's enough. Child, I ain't even going through the vows because then she read her vows. She promised to listen and learn, and she promised to stand by him in her red bottoms. Okay, Mirla. Oh, child, I'm so tired. Her identity is tied to these labels. Girl, if Gucci, Louis, Prada, Fendi, and every other fancy name that you could name goes out of business tomorrow, who would Mirla be? That's what I want to know. Could you stand without those labels? If I bought you something from Walmart and I zhuzhed it up, could you still be Mirla at the end of the day? Honey, I don't want to hear nothing about no red bottoms in these vows, honey. Those vows did nothing for me. Honey, I didn't get nothing out of it. I didn't get nothing that needed to be gave. She said, you may now kiss your Mirla. So then he stood there for a second because he didn't really know what to do. Then he leaned in and got the little cheek kiss that you would give your grandmother. Honey, that's one of those, hey, baby, grandma ain't seen you in a while type kisses. Girl, this is your husband. Why they do Gil like this? Honey, I'm not liking Mirla and her attitude. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's going to get better, but for now, it's a no. He did not look happy as they walked out. I was looking like, oh, child, honey. He did say he was mesmerized by how pretty she is, but that means absolutely nothing. And she says she's attracted to him. Oh, okay, well, that's good. So then they start talking, and he tells her that he's from Colombia. And she's like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Colombia. Honey, she ready for a trip. He said, you speak Spanish? She said, yeah, do you speak Spanish? He said, yes, I do. You know, when I greeted your mom, I spoke Spanish to her. And she said, oh, I bet she was impressed because my mom only speaks Spanish. And he said, so does mine. And I'm like, okay, y'all have something in common. I like it, okay? I'm liking that. Okay, Mirla, okay, get yourself together. Yes, Gil, I love it. I love the fact that you greeted her parents because they didn't show us that. But I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. At first, I was going to say something about it, but I said, I know Gil ain't that type of man. He loves his mom. He's always talking about how he salsa dances and loves his family. I can't imagine him skipping her mom. And you did not disappoint. I really like Gil. Mirla, honey, you better behave because I got nothing but time on these reviews. So then they found out that they both wanted kids. She said she wanted one or two, and he hesitated because I'm assuming he wanted more. But then he did eventually say okay. And she said, I have to see what my body is going to go through in my mommy makeover afterwards. I'm going to have to get that. If you're okay with that, of course. No, and she don't care if you're okay with it or not, honey. She already got her appointment set for 2029. Okay. So then he tells her he used to be a trainer, but he's a firefighter. She said, oh, okay, I'm an educator. He said, okay, so you teach the teachers. And then she said, no, I don't. And then she explained what she does with the principals or whatnot. And she used to be a principal herself. Moving forward, Gil said, I can't say I love her, but I like her. Well, honey, you better not say you love her or else we'll be looking at you sideways. Child, let's keep going. Gil said, do you like dogs? She paused for like 3 commercial breaks. And then she said, do they shed? Gil said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. Yes, they do shed. She said, but I'm a neat freak. She said, everyone defines that differently. Well, honey, let me tell you, you might be exactly right, Mirla, because Ryan, he said that he was a neat freak. And then we went in there and noticed that his cabinet was leaning to the left, lean with it, rocking with it. So you're absolutely right. But I just don't know how this is gonna work, child. Now it's time for another wedding day. Brett and Ryan. Brett said she didn't sleep. It was like Christmas Eve for love. I said, oh, that's so cute, honey. That sounds like something I would say. She said she's been hurt a lot, but she is definitely a commitment type of girl. Honey, I can relate. Ryan and the boys show up. He said he hopes she's a good person that knows how to treat people. Let me tell you something. When he said that, I said that is an awesome thing to want in a spouse or a potential partner. Being a good person. That's important. Because if you treat others right, then you'll treat me right. I can't get with people that are just genuinely not good people. So Brett is over there with her bridesmaids, and she said, I hope that he lets you be you. This is her bridesmaid talking, right? She said, I hope that he just lets you dance. I hope you dance. I know that's right, honey. Brett was like, if he can really dance, I'm going to be looking crazy. So Brett and her boobies are ready to say I do to Ryan, and she's talking to her parents, and they're like, you're so calm. She said, yeah, I'm really calm. Child, she ain't been kissed in 2 years. We know she got patience, child. So her dad said, he better treat you right. That's all I'm worried about. So then her mom said, it's what's inside that counts. She's like, facts. It's how they treat you. Facts. Girl, do we have another Ryan on our hands? Sure, for sure. Child, I'm not about to play with you. Girl, if you don't use your big girl language, talking about some facts. So then gifts come in from Ryan in the form of flowers for her mom. Points for Ryan, honey. That was sweet. Okay, I liked it. And some gym shoes for Brett in case she wanted to run. Honey, the guys this season, they're so witty. They all have this funny personality. I'm really curious to see what Jose is going to give to Rachel. Because, I don't know, that probably will help me decide if I'm going to like him or not. But so far, I'm enjoying the grooms and I'm enjoying the brides. Now, I didn't see Zac and Michaela exchange gifts. Now, I'm not sure if they did or not, which I'm sure that they did, but they didn't show that part. Listen, y'all, Ryan comes out, anticipation is building. Brett is in the back, ready for her first kiss in a while. Honey, the music's going. And then, please stand. Next time on Married at First Sight. I said, ain't this about we're not even going to see Brett and Ryan get married? Honey, Ryan might fall asleep. Child, please don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe. Let me know exactly how you felt about this episode. Let me tell you how I felt before I wrap it up. I love Zac and Michaela's chemistry. Will they be able to sustain in the real world outside of the bubble that is all things Married at First Sight? I'm not sure. But honey, I'm hoping and fingers are crossed. Johnny and Bao. Johnny, please do not let Bao dim your light. I love the fun-loving guy. Even though you're a little bit quirky and you have a little bit of OCD and your shirts are blue and your pants are khaki, I still love me some Johnny. Bao, learn to loosen up, boo. Mirla, do not give Gil a hard time. He's a fun-loving man, but Gil, the dog, gonna have to sleep outside. Child, and that's all I got, and I ain't got no more. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a Married at First Sight video. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.